All right, guys, we are here once again for the Game Awards, which is basically in the next 5 days by the time of this recording. Now, I'm going to be honest, I don't really care that much of the Game Awards, but this year's was pretty interesting. I did put up a post, and at least a few did vote and want me to say stuff about it. So, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to watch it live. I'm going to look into at least the highlights because, I mean, there's nothing really. Once you see at least one or two, kind of seen them all. So, like, pretty much. But one thing is for sure, it does seem like it is going for Sonic a lot more for this one, which is surprising to say the least, because Sonic always gets the hate bias in the Game Awards, not by the fan, not by any other fan groups, just the corporations. The corporation that's actually, basically behind the scenes of the Game Awards, the people running it, they have a bias against Sonic, like specifically, kind of snuffed out like a lot. But yeah, so here we are, right? And going down, we're gonna see that apparently, yeah. So I understand why, but it seems like it's a new tradition that, for the most parts, you can vote for stuff in Fortnite now for the Game Awards. But I think it's just like creative maps, all that stuff in Fortnite. Nothing too like specific or interesting. It's not going to affect the actual Fortnite stuff. I mean, for the actual Game Award stuff. But yeah, let's just check the nominations now, shall we? All right. This seems to be a bit more. It has more categories than I think I remembered. Let's see. Okay, so December 8th when round three starts, and that's kind of where it ends. Let's just take a look. Yeah, let's just take a look now for Player's Choice to see if they fixed that only, and I do mean only, games from this year are in Player's Choice, because this is specifically, for 2025. So it should just be games that are released in 2025. Otherwise, we would have like better games on the list that would basically kind of prove that the current gaming um, climate is like pretty bad, very corporate. But let's just see who it is. Oh, a minute, cannot see anything. Finally, for one vote opens on December 8th. So looks like I can't see. That's good. Okay, 30, 10. So 5 left. There's only one thing I do not want to see. Okay, I want to see, at least for Player's Choice, I want to see for Player's Choice Expedition 33, Donkey Kong Bonanza, um, Hollow Knight for sure, and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. I think that's 4. So one more. I would hope for Yotai. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Or Dispatch. If Dispatch is not here, I will be pretty surprised. I bet it was here already. But I would say Yotai or Dispatch for the 5th one, and the other 4 I just mentioned, yeah, should be in round 3, hopefully. I do not want to see Genshin. If Genshin is here, then the Game Awards has already been a bust. That's about it. Because that's a 2018 game. And specifically, the reason I know the consensus is that Genshin released in 2020, but the thing is that the original version 0 has been released, which is the beta, that released on 2018. Unfortunately, Hoyoverse basically kind of just removed that for some reason. So basically, my Amber that used to be like 2018 is now 2020, which is technically still about day 1 or day 2, basically. So yeah, that's kind of about it. There was a time where Mondstadt was just the only thing available. So it is what it is, I guess. All right, let's go to the game of the year. Let's see who it is. Okay, not bad actually. Yeah, Expedition 33, I expected that. Bonanza expected, Hades, and Silk Song, yeah. And Kingdom Come Divergence. Okay. So the thing is that I have for most of these games I've either played, seen people played, or heard people talk about it. And yeah, I've seen people play Expedition. You guys already know that I played Donkey Kong Bonanza, and there's an update for it. And here's an update from the mini review. I did complete Donkey Kong Bonanza, the full base game, not the DLC because college doesn't have the DLC. Thank God, because to be honest, it's the DLC is not worth the money unless you're a Donkey Kong fan, which I am. But it should have been base game, you know. But yeah, I also played Silk Song as well. I think I'm halfway through the game at this point, so but I don't think I'll have time to actually finish the game. Oh yeah, I did not 100% complete the game, despite how fast I actually beat the game surprisingly. Hades 2 I did dabble a bit. So yeah. As for Death Standing and Kingdom Come, I only heard people talk about them, so I cannot give my true opinion on it. I do think that personally I personally think Donkey Kong Bonanza does deserve Game of the Year. I do believe that. But Expedition 33 does actually get pretty close. However, due to the popularity of Silk Song, I do believe that Silk Song, while I don't think it deserves Game of the Year, it should be the third runner up. I do believe that it might win this just for sheer popularity. But personally, for me, I think it's between Bonanza and Expedition 33. Let's go to the next category. Best game direction, creative vision, and innovative in game direction and design. I'm gonna be honest. Creative vision might just be the only thing because in terms of innovation, I don't think any of these games are pretty much innovated. And for Death Standing, as much as I heard, it doesn't seem they changed or give anything unique in a game direction. So yeah, in terms of creative vision, I think Ghost of Yote. I did play this, and I seen people play this as well. So yeah, this one's pretty good. Expedition 33 and Hades 2. Um, Hades 2 is interesting, but I do think it's in the middle of almost being purely creative, and I think it is technically. I mean, it's a sequel, but I think it's a sequel. I'm not too deep into Hades story lore, so like yeah. But other than that, I do believe Hades might have a chance, but I think it's Ghost of Yote, but most likely. I do like the story that it actually has and its vision for its world. Yes, it is a bit like, Ghost of Tsushima, but I think it actually diverges a bit better in a more creative direction. Expedition 3 is also a um, decent contender as well, although I do not know more about its creative vision and how much it actually, you know, leans into being outstanding. I guess I mean it's outstanding on its own right, but I don't know if like I would truly say like the best. Of course maybe Death Standing's a sleeper pick, honestly. Split Fiction is a good game. I just don't think it actually belongs in this category. Ooh. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Silent Hill F. So it is just up to interpretation, but I do think that Silent Hill F is winning in this category. Although I could see maybe Ghost of Yote actually winning this. So it's either one of these two. Expedition 33 is good, but I don't think it has a decent story, but I don't think I prefer its story compared to the other two that I just mentioned here. Best art direction. That's definitely Ghost of Yote. Hollow Knight Silk Song is just Hollow Knight art style. We've all seen it before. I do like the art style for it, but it doesn't really, you know, it's not really like it's not a technical achievement. I mean, it could be, but I think like if we're going for a technical achievement, like for Anne, which I do think that creative and technical achievement together makes the game boost in this category. And I do think Expedition 33 might be that. Although I do like the artistic design of Yote even more. Hollow Knight Silksong is like a big breath of fresh air, but it's technically Hollow Knight. It's not too technical. It's not a technical achievement anyway. The animations is very too much. It's like too simple. Sometimes simplicity is good, but if I'm going for like the one that is being outstanding, I do think Ghost of Yote, or yeah, maybe Ghost of Yote. I think it definitely is that one. Hades 2 might actually be a contender, but I don't know about artistic design. I feel it's hard. I think in terms of artistic design, it's also by preference, but in animation. But I think for terms of animation, I feel like the other four might actually have or might be better in that department because Silk Song, while good and its animation is fluid, it is very limited, like not much at all, which I think is might be working in its way. And guess what? Sonic's not here. But here's the thing, I do get it why Sonic is not here, like Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. It's because for the most part, I feel like every one of these people are technically big names, except for maybe Silk Song. I feel like maybe that's a smaller person. But for Sonic Racing Cross Worlds also has a abundance of smaller creators that are actually doing the, you know, actually doing the music and everything else. I do like that. I think maybe the only original song that they really have was the opening theme of Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, and it's good. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the score in the game is really good, but it is just like it's just like in Generations. It is just remixes, although they're very good. But I don't know about original styles and stuff like that. So I guess originality. That regard, best score music, I think I would give it to Hades. Darren Kobe. Kobe. Yeah, I think Hades. But Expedition 32 might actually also win in that department. I don't think I remember anything with Silk Song, honestly. I think I only remember ambiance, and that was about it. I think Silk Song doesn't belong in that category. Yeah, it shouldn't. Silk Song should have been in audio design. Because in terms of in-game audio and stuff, Silk Song does supposed to be belong in this category, but I guess we have to work with these. Battlefield 6 is like the most hand me down they can possibly get because this is like you're supposed to have good audio design. It's a requirement basically for Battlefield 6. Those are your tastes also pretty good. And okay, I think to be honest, I would prefer Ghost of Yote or Expedition 33 to win this, but Battlefield 6 is like it's a automatic. I don't know why this is like a question. I feel like this one would just be because it makes sense. You're forced to have good audio design, and I feel like Battlefield 6 is very much an anticipated game, so like it should be good, right? But I do think Expedition 33 or Yote might actually win this category. Oh, best performance. I cannot say, but apparently we have three people for Expedition 33, which is pretty surprising to say the least. But I guess it's basically up to like your preference because for the most part, I think everybody here did a very good job for what they do. So it's just up to preference. Okay, so innovation and accessibility, enjoying a even wider audience, help games. Yeah. So, nah, Atom Fall is like the closest, and including Doom. This one is like a give me because even on it should be on the Switch 2 as well, I think. So like this should have been an automatic because this is on all platforms. So accessibility is a thing, hopefully. But these two, I do believe that these two might have better chance. Although I don't think any of them are on Switch consoles yet. I guess maybe Atom Fall possibly. South of Midnight. I have not heard of this game. Surprisingly, I don't know. I guess surprisingly, I have not heard about this game. Neither Assassin's Creed Shadows. I have not heard about these two at the ends, but I did hear about the three before. I do want to say Dark. I do want to say Doom. But I feel like EA Sports might win this because it's kind of a give me, huh? Games for impact. Thought-provoking game with a pro social meaning or message. Hmm. Well, I have actually watched people play at least four of these games, just not South of Midnight. So maybe it's not that great. I do think that this game, I do not want to say the name of the title of the game because I might get it wrong, embarrassingly. But I think this one should win because I do like its message. Ongoing game, huh? Okay, so by the time of this video, yes, I did play at least all of these. Um, this one, I mean, I have never chose this at any point, so I don't know why this is here. No Man's Sky is surprisingly here, to be honest. I thought the game, name no offense to anybody playing the game, but I thought the game was dead because nobody talked about it. Marvel Rivals, Helldivers 2, and Fortnite are like the big three at this point in this section specifically. I play a lot of Marvel Rivals. I truly do. Top 100 for Penny for like the longest time until like I dropped Penny and I played Hulk. I like tanks. Unfortunately, people don't understand how tanks are supposed to be doing their job. Like you have some people who are support who understand the tank's job, and there are DPS people who don't understand what the tank's job is. The tank's job is to tank damage, so they would highly be likely to die quicker, you know? So maybe instead of like, seeing the tank dying a lot, maybe help the tank, Maybe help them kill. You get a good kill streak, you gotta get a kill ratio by that point. But anyway, I'm ranting. Um, I do think it's between Helldivers 2 and Marvel Rivals, and I would like to say Marvel Rivals. Helldivers 2 is a good contender. As for Fortnite, um, if the new season was not released for Fortnite and it just ended with The Simpsons, I think The Simpsons really did carry like Fortnite's reputation for like the rest of the throughout this year because throughout this year was like stagnant, very, very stagnant, except for that one season where it kind of got a little bad, but I think that's fine. But unfortunately, right now, it does seem like it's on the downward trend. I don't think Fortnite's going to win this at all. The Simpsons did actually perked up that popularity, though, so maybe. But I do think Marvel Rivals might win this, but it could be Helldivers. It's one of between these two mostly. Okay. Well, unfortunately, Fortnite is on their break now. I mean, Fortnite team's on their break, so I guess community is just whatever. Also, I mean, the community is also very mixed on what's coming up for like Fortnite this season specifically. So like typical Fortnite priors, I guess. So no, I do No Man's Sky is like the most neutral, and Helldivers is like the best supported one I ever heard of. Also for Baldur's Gate 3, which I'm surprised this is still here. I do think at this point it's Baldur's Gate 3 or Helldivers 2, but No Man's Sky could actually have a leg up in this department because I think they're like pretty neutral on stuff, as far as I know, of course. But yeah, but I do think maybe Baldur's Gate 3 might win this one. There's a lot of more people that are more vocal on this one than Helldivers 2, at least to what I have heard. Oh, yeah, this one. Yeah, okay, very heavy bias. It's this one. I actually do like this one very much, so absolutely. I think I said that right. Okay. I wouldn't say Expedition 33 is an indie game though. Hmm. Like I said before, I seen people play Dispatch. I wanted to get the game, but I think I had to pay money for it the last time I checked, so I can't really. However, I do like this one. Yeah. I do like this one more in terms of seeing. I mean I play Expedition 33, but for personally for me, I don't count it as an indie game, at least in my eyes. Blueprints is also decent, but yeah, this one, yeah, I would say this one. Dispatch is like a close second, but I would say like think this one, yeah, because Dispatch is like iffy. Oh yeah, mobile game. Is it really surprising I played all of these once? You guys know I played Withering Waves once on the channel and it was ass because my device cannot handle it. I finally found at least a place where I can actually do this. And no, it's not at college, okay? But I have found a way to play this. It's decent, but it's basically just a Genshin clone on this side. So, yeah. Thank God Genshin is not here because we're looking at specifically 2025, you know? But or at least release on 2025. Living Waves is like last year, so this definitely does not count. Living Waves, cross it out. It doesn't even belong in this category because it's from last year. Now you could say the same for Uma Musume, Pretty Derby, but it released on global this year, so it does count. And might I say, this one has my vote. If you guys haven't noticed, but then again, I only have one video of Uma Musume once. And the reason why I did that is because since I played the game and I know about that, it's about a Harurara, you know, that one. You know, I like the story. I like it how the devs clearly care for what they would put in for this game. Taking basically the real life story of the IRL horse that the anime Horse Girl is based on and their jockey. It's like it's just chef's kiss. It's perfect. I really do like it. And the lore for it is like the lore of the RL horses, a strange thing to say, is actually really good. And some of them are really tear jerking. So sad. Sometimes depressing. But I really like it. Man, it's so good. That's why I do think that it is the best mobile game because it's the only game that where the devs fully like understand their own assignment and try to do stuff. And the thing is that if you actually like any of the horse girls here, you can just search up their name, but just at least say IRL on it, and it will show you the horse. If you like the characters in this game, if you want to know more lore about them, at least just to go search up their IRL counterpart, the real horses. Their stories are really nice, depressing some of them, but it's really nice to see how they prevail and how you basically the jockeys treat them. They're all really nice, honestly. Yeah, there's no contest. But let's be honest, Persona 5 is like, why is it even here? Then Destiny Rising is the only Destiny game that's marginally good. So like, yeah, Sonic Rumble is very fun. It's just very fun, but yeah, Uma Musume has like pretty much everything like good. Yes, Uma Musume is a gotcha game, right? But it's a gotcha game with a lot of heart and soul poured into it by the devs. Side games really did actually outdid themselves. So yeah, this should win this category. And considering that what I've seen, at least for each community, they always reference Uma Musume. And a lot of people do like the fact that they reference this game because they recognize that this game is really, really good. So even in each of these communities, does show that Uma Musume Pretty Derby is actually pretty good. It should win this category. But then again, there might be other people who actually prefer the other play styles. I do think Sonic Rumble might have a better advantage because it's Sonic. But I do think that Umu's Pretty Derby is actually the best one out of here. If Living Waves win this, then we can all lose hope that the rest of the Game Awards is just ass because this is a game from last year. You know, last year. If this wins, then we're screwed. The whole awards is screwed. All right. I only seen people play this because I don't have VR. Obviously, it's too expensive. I do think Ghost Town Marvel's Deadpool VR and Alien. But I think Alien has the bigger chance here because, to be honest, Marvel's Deadpool VR is still recently new, relatively speaking. So like we still need a consensus on this. So I think Alien has a better chance here. It's a good horror game, action game, huh? Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, Ninja Gaiden 4, and Doom are pretty close. Hades is fine, but it's a bit calm for an action game. And Battlefield 6 is a shooter game, unless they changed somehow. I don't wouldn't not consult. I would it has action, but I wouldn't consider it an action game specifically. I think Ninja Gaiden 4 might win this or Doom. I could see it. Adventure, huh? Excuse me. That's either Ghost of Yote or Split Fiction. It's one of those two, and I think Split Fiction actually wins this category because it has a very good. If its action is decent, but its adventures its adventure is really good. But of course, I think Yote has a better mixture of the two, but Split Fiction has a better sense of adventure, basically, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I think I still prefer maybe Split Fiction winning this category because it does excel at least one thing, and the action is above average because it's a two-player game. But Gozo Yote does have a better blend of the two, but it doesn't actually. It's not that high, basically. Indiana Jones is actually pretty good too, but I heard some stuff about it honestly, but other people after watching other people play it. Best RPG. Um, rich character customization, progression. Okay, so that's what they do. Expedition 33 or Monster Hunter. That's basically it. I would say maybe Expedition 33 might win this category, but I think Monster Hunter Wilds is slightly better in my opinion. But I think Expedition 33 might win this. All right, what's next? Fighting game. Oh my! I don't think we were I don't think any fighting game fanatic was actually eating this year, huh? We have two collections. We have two collections. Why we have two? Okay, the two collections are good on their own right, but the problem is that they're collections. They shouldn't be really in this category whatsoever. I would say Capcom Fighting Collection 2 if I was going to say. This game is free, I think, unless you have to pay for it. I was under the assumption that it was free. Everybody that I saw playing it was said it was free, so I don't know. But not really my type of. I mean, it's technically my type of fighting game, but doesn't really hit it for me for some reason. I guess it's more League of Legends esque, so I'm not really into that. Think Fatal Fury, City of Wolves. I thought Virtual Fighter 5 was made by the same people, but I guess I was wrong. This is decently well made. I do like it. But I think Fatal Fury actually takes it. I like Fatal Fury. Okay, there's a bit bias there. Okay. Big contender. Oh. Family? Okay. So starting off, Donkey Kong Bonanza technically it's a action adventure game for the most part, single player. There is a two-player aspect, but the second player is like an assist, so not exactly family. It's appropriate, but it's not part. It's not a family type of game. I would say, like Lego Party, Lego Voyagers, Mario Kart World, and Sonic Racing Crossroads is like the most family of family games than Donkey Kong Bonanza or Split Fiction, in my opinion. Um, okay, Lego Party is really good. Thank God it's not Mario Party. Jesus, Lego Party deserves it. I feel like okay, Lego Voyagers is decently well as well, but I don't think it's gonna win this category. Mario Kart World, listen, even with the recent even with the recent deal, even with the recent patch that actually fixes at least some of the intermission tracks, I did play that. Okay, I did play that in college. And I'll play one more time just to be sure. But it only improved the game by like 15%. So my score for it being like a 5 out of 10 is still there because they have not done anything for the open world, and it's still very very slow, even if they give the boost to the railings and stuff. So like it's whatever, man. But you know that my boy Sonic in Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is the best. And I have played this a lot. Unfortunately, I didn't play as much as I want to. And the reason why is because I'm busy with college, and college has been eating up my time, so I was not able to actually play as much and get to legend rank. But I do like how this game is structured more than Mario Kart World. I mean, first off, it's faster. It's a bit traditional, and to be honest, it handles much more better. Much better. I don't know why Split Fiction is even here. Because it you could say family, but it's not really. Honestly, it's not really. I will not consider this family friendly. But if you realize this one is quote unquote more in a realistic art style, quote unquote realistic art style, compared to the others, which are kid based Legos made for kids. Mario Kart, Mario and Sonic, basically cartoon characters, therefore for kids. Donkey Kong, basically a part of the Mario gang, basically Nintendo, so kids game. This is more for the more mature teenagers and adults. I think they're trying to get more people to vote for this for the general general audience compared to these kids games here, you know. But even with this manipulation tactic, I think Sonic Racing Chronicles should still win this. At least win a category here, so that's good. It should win this. Best sim. Hmm. Strategy sim. Jurassic World Evolution 3? I'm gonna be honest, I have not heard of Sid, the Altars. I heard about Tempest Rising and Final Fantasy Tactics. 2 Point Museum. I think maybe Jurassic World Evolution 3. Is that too hard to access? I like dinosaurs, okay? Oh boy. Okay. Of course Mario Kart World is not winning this. But F1? F1. Maybe. I mean, it's biased. I do not want to see this too. I do not want to see this winning. But I think it's really just between Rematch and Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Well, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is its own thing, but Rematch was basically the hype and the talk of the town for a while this year. And technically still is. Unfortunately, I feel like it dropped off in terms of people talking about it. But it has maybe the second most popularity compared to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds in terms of positivity. We know that Mario Kart World has a lot of coverage, but we know that it's all negative for the correct reasons, of course. Well, they might be exaggerated, but still technically correct reasons. For me, the problems with Mario Kart World, while some of them are game breaking, for the most part, they can also be argued for nitpicks. So I will not deny that. If you like Sonic, if you like Mario Kart World, then more power to you. It's not as good as Mario Kart 8, Mario Kart 8, at least for me. I think Sun Racing Cross World, for me, again, should win this in this category. Right, let's see who it is. Multiplayer Peak. Night Rain and Battlefield 6? Maybe. But Peak, listen, you do not understand how Peak is. Peak is the best and the peak game, is very peak. So I think Peak wins. No questions. Very funny, very peak in comedy. Okay. I'm surprised Sonic's not here, I guess maybe it was a bit too early in the year. I guess I'm surprised it's not here because Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the movie, is the most accurate to its source material in a way where it is to the games, but in its own movie verse. And I feel like that should be it. But I guess it might be some bias. I guess everything here, Minecraft movie. I mean, the Devil May Cry show, I actually do like it, but it's like it kind of takes its own liberty. I feel like it takes its own liberties, right? Not really following a story, not really adapting its story, just its beats and just its like main plot points, I guess, in the original game or at least the series as a whole. I could be wrong. It could, for all I know, it could have been like after the most recent like game. I don't know. I've always thought it might be just be its own thing, honestly. Splinter Cell, as much as I know, is decent, but I don't know about the game or what the game has been adapting. Until Dawn is one thing. I think it's actually fine and a bit faithful too. Then there's The Last of Us. Yeah. So The Last of Us season two, it's fine. It's good and it's similar to The Last of Us. But I would say maybe the Minecraft movie because the thing is, the Minecraft movie for what it is, and you know, Chicken Jackie. I do think it actually encompasses Minecraft as a whole because even though it's not exactly like a Minecraft movie, it does have it still does feel like a Minecraft movie because to be honest, Minecraft itself has a very basic story, but isn't that the part of Minecraft you can just do your own story? Yes, there is a main story in it, but I feel like this type of story is possible. I do think it could be executed better and all that stuff, but I don't know. It could just be biased too. I think the Minecraft movie should win this. I mean, if Sonic 3 was here, I mean, it has every right to win this. I can't believe, like, maybe the Ghost thing wasn't winning last time, but, whatever. Anticipated game. Listen, for the memes, yeah, for the memes. Imagine this gets delayed again. But I'm more anticipating the Marvel's Wolverine. I really want to see this game. Who the fuck is the burnt peanut? Okay, so I think he might be a wild card and the burnt peanut, but I think it's between Sakaramiko and Kai Sinet. I like Kai. I like Kai. I really like him. Definitely most critical is definitely not winning this. Let me tell you. If you think that was sarcasm, I'll let you decide that. Esports team, huh? I guess Valorant. I would prefer maybe Overwatch 2, but then again, it's, you know, downhill spiral from there. Uh, I'm surprised Marvel Rivals it's not in here. Then again, I don't think there is an esports team for Marvel Rivals yet, huh? I think it's Valorant or Counter Strike 2. It's one of those two. Maybe. Mobile Legends. Um, Esports athletes. Maybe Brock. Or Saul. Yeah, one of those two. And let's see. I think this is the teams, huh? And I think for teams, I think it's really just up to interpretation. It's up to the person, not interpretation. It's up to the person's preference. I have no preference here, so I cannot really vote. And we have this thing. All right, that's kind of it, and there's my thoughts and feelings about it. Overall, Sonic got snuffed again for the music. I would hope that Sonic Rumble does not win Best Mobile because Uma Musume Pretty Derby deserves the win for that. But Sonic should be winning the family category and the racing sports category. Although, if I were to say Sonic should win the racing one as a guarantee, but Sonic Vacation Across Worlds winning in the family department, I do think Lego Party actually might have the edge. Lego Party is really good and is technically what I would consider for a family game, you know? But yeah, in terms of the actual game of the year, let's check again. I would prefer Donkey Kong Bonanza, but I do think it's either Expedition 33 or Silk Song winning this. But yeah, overall, that's about it. I am not going to come back for the update of this, and this is recorded on the 6th, so it's Saturday. I am not coming back for the third round for the players' vote. But here's a bigger question. Where the hell is Kirby Air Riders? Where is Kirby Air Riders? It qualifies for this year. It released just in time. So why isn't it on here? But here's the thing. If Kirby Air Riders was in like the best family game, that would make sense. Maybe put it replacing Split Fiction. Was it Friction? I think it's Fiction, right? But then you go to sports racing. If Kirby Air Riders was here, I would still choose Sonic Racing Crossworlds. You will see me put up a mini review for Kirby Air Riders once I have time. I recorded a small clip of me just saying that my college game room does have Kirby Air Riders finally, and I played it. I played it for 5 straight hours because it was just that good. But then I remembered, I had to play Mario Kart World because the update was on that day. So like, yeah. But I prefer Sonic Racing Crossworlds style and racing mechanics over Kirby Air Riders. Kirby Air Riders is a good thing on its own, but well, I guess you'll see when I talk about it in the mini review. However, I do think Kirby Air Riders is worth the $70. It is worth the $70. It's just personally for me, I guess it's not hitting. I guess it's not hitting me like the original title did. I don't know. Something's missing from this game compared to the original title. Anyways, my name is Sampo. I'll see you guys next time. And no, I'm not gonna vote because the reason why I'm not voting because I don't want to jinx anything. That's about it. Well, if you are gonna vote, vote now, I guess, and vote for Sonic Racing Crossworlds to win for the racing and family game. Yes, the family game was biased, but in terms of the racing, let's be honest, racing and sports, I think Sonic Racing Crossworlds gets that. And as for the game of the year, Donkey Kong Bonanza. And then again, Expedition 33 is also pretty good too.